All right, so I've done a couple of tier ranking videos for the support weapon stratagems against the other two factions, meaning the Terminids and the bots, and now we're going to cover the Illuminate forces. We do have some other Illuminate forces, so this is kind of part one, and this will probably change over time because we're going to be getting the more anti-tank required Illuminates in the future, but right now we're facing the invasion force that only has up to charger level, which is the harvesters. They're or Hulk level if you want to compare it to the boss and the Terminids. So right now we're going to go with what we have, but what I want to do in this video again is I want to rank all the weapon support stratagems in the game against the Illuminates right now in this current stage, and then we'll do a follow-up video later in time, because again, when we get the other more heavier units in the game, this list will change quite a bit. Anyways, let's do a tier ranking for the invasion force of the Illuminates. All right, so starting off with the machine guns first. So the machine guns are the goated options when facing the Illuminate, just like the bugs, especially this invasion force. They're just so freaking good at killing voteless enemies, killing the overseers, and killing the harvesters, depending on which variant you use. But the Stalwart specifically is just great at clearing out hordes of enemies, so we're going to rank it as an A tier option. It is just good overall because of the fact, again, it is great at killing voteless, has a high magazine, can reload on the go. It's got so many good benefits that are great and can be used as a primary weapon because there's so much miscellaneous ammo all over the ground because of the urban environments that the Illuminate are currently fighting in. So again, the Stalwart is an A tier option in my opinion. Now, as for the machine gun, this is an S tier option. Personally, I think that this is probably the best weapon when facing the Illuminate because it is so good at killing everything. It is great at not only killing all the cannon fodder, it's great at killing the overseers, it's great at killing the harvesters if you shoot the joints, it's great at taking down the shields from the warp ships, great at taking out the shields on the harvesters. This weapon can do it all. It is very, very good. It is like one of the best weapons in the game against the Illuminates. It is so freaking good. I absolutely love it. As for the heavy machine gun, I'm going to rank it a little bit above the Stalwart, but I don't love it as much as I do the machine gun because it just doesn't feel as good. Yes, it has the heavy penetration, but it feels like overkill because, again, with this invasion force, medium penetration is the sweet spot. So it's better than the Stalwart, but again, it's just not needed. It feels a little bit overkill, but I'm not going to say it's not good. It's very fun if you want to switch up using the machine gun, in my opinion. As for the autocannon, it's an S tier support stratagem overall, especially against the bugs and the bots, but again, with the Illuminates, it feels unnecessary and doesn't feel like it has a place yet. It doesn't do a great job at killing the overseers, in my opinion. It can, I guess, destroy objectives, so it's kind of good for that, but it doesn't feel great, in my opinion, against the Illuminate yet. It may change, but right now I'm going to put it as a B tier option because there are just so many other better options right now for fighting the Illuminates that the autocannon just feels like it's a bit overkill and not necessary yet, even though it is an S tier support stratagem. It's not necessary yet for the Illuminate, but it's still okay. Again, there's just better options. Same thing for the Railgun. It's good. It's an S tier support stratagem, but it's just not really needed for the Illuminate. It feels like overkill. I don't love using this thing against the harvesters. It's not great. It's just not the best in my opinion. It just doesn't feel good. It's not great at destroying shields. Because the shields require sustained fire. I mean, it does okay against the overseers, but it seems like overkill again. Railgun feels like it's not ready for the Illuminate yet, but it's okay in my opinion. It's a different story for the AMR. The AMR is just a well-rounded, versatile weapon in the game, period, and it's going to be great at taking out the harvester limbs. It's going to be great at taking out shields. It's going to be great at taking out overseers. It's going to do a lot of the dirty work for you when you're dealing with all those things, very similar to the machine gun. So I'd rank the machine gun a little bit higher, but the AMR or the anti-material rifle is just right behind it in my opinion. The FRV, there are these kind of scattered around the urban environments. I think they're just fun in general, but I'm going to rank them as a B tier. They're not great in terms of like, they're just fun to ride around in with the heavy machine gun. I'm not going to really go into too many nuances here, but they're just fun overall in my opinion. As for the Patriot Exosuit, I feel like it's actually really good against the Illuminate. Not only is it great at taking out the harvesters, but it's also great at dealing with the cannon fodder with the machine gun. It is just really, really good. And same thing with the Emancipator. I would say the Patriot's just a little bit better, but the Emancipator is just a little, I'm actually going to put both of these exosuits ahead of these two machine gun options actually, because I feel like the exosuits are actually extremely good against the Illuminate because they don't shoot too much to where they're destroying them too fast like the automatons, but they also are just great at killing cannon fodder, destroying objectives. I love the exosuits against the illuminate. They're very, very good in my opinion. All right, so the Recoilless, again, it feels a little bit early. We don't really need the Recoilless yet when dealing with the illuminate. So I'm gonna put it with the exosuits. It's very good, but again, it just doesn't feel needed. It feels completely excessive to bring the Recoilless into an encounter with the illuminate. It's gonna be good. I'm actually gonna put it above the exosuits. It's gonna be good. No, I'm actually gonna keep it right there. But it's gonna be good, but it just doesn't feel needed right now until we get some anti-tank with the illuminate, but it's just really good overall. So the Quasar continues to be in D tier like the other tier rankings, because again, I like the Quasar and I loved it so much when it first came out, but the heating mechanic doesn't feel good and it just feels lost in all the other launchers. I just don't really see the need to run it, in my opinion. This is a completely different story for the Commando. I feel like this is a very, very good option. I'm going to rank this just above the exosuits. It is so freaking good at taking out harvesters. You drop the shields with whatever you want, and then you just shoot the harvesters with this thing. Very, very efficient. It's great at destroying the warp ship bases. It's really good. I love the versatility of the Commando. It's great, and it has such a short cooldown, and it doesn't have limited uses like the exosuit. So again, it's really, really good overall. I'm gonna rank the EAT probably below all of these because it just doesn't feel like it's necessary. Again, it's good, but it doesn't feel like it's necessary. I'm actually gonna drop it to B tier. It doesn't feel as needed here, so I'm just gonna drop it down because the Commando does everything that the EATs can do, and the EATs, again, they're really focused on anti-tank, and I just don't love them in my opinion. So as for the W.A.S.P, I do like it against the Illuminate because it's great at killing the Overseers, but it's just not great at killing the Harvesters. It's very, very mid at killing the Harvesters, and it doesn't do anything else like kill Voltless very well. So I'm gonna put it right here at a high B tier. Actually, I'm going to drop it just below the Autocannon. It's kind of interchangeable with the Autocannon right now in the meta. If you just want to have a Overseer killing machine, not bad. But I mean, like, it just doesn't feel like it's needed. I'm going to put it just above the Autocannon because it does one-shot Overseers with the burst, little burst shot. So it's not bad. It's just not really needed. Airburst is going to be E tier. I don't like it. I don't know why it's needed in the game. It just feels weird. I don't like it overall. I mean, this is me being biased, but it's just not my favorite thing in the world to use. The spear, again, just feels unneeded. It's not bad against the harvesters, but it just doesn't prioritize the weak spot, the joint. So it's just going to take more rockets than it should to kill the harvesters. So again, until we get some anti-tank, I don't think the spear is really worth it in my opinion. I would say the grenade launcher, oh man, this is a tough one. I'm going to put this right here above. No, I'm going to put it right here below the Autocannon, just primarily because we have the crossbow that exists, the grenade pistol exists, so those are great at taking out the warp ships. And then for dealing with the cannon fodder, we don't really need the grenade launcher. It just feels kind of like overkill and more for memes. Again, the grenade launcher is not the greatest thing in the world in my opinion for fighting the illuminate. The laser, again, like the spear, feels very unneeded. It's okay against harvesters. It takes quite a lot more shots, and it takes quite a lot more of a focused shot than I would like to kill a harvester. So I'm not the biggest fan of it. I personally don't use it very often, so kind of down there in the C tier for me with the spear right now. All right, so with the arc thrower, it's actually got a little bit of a different story when compared to the bots and the bugs. I actually feel like it has a good place with the illuminate because there are so many Voltless, there are so many Overseers, and it does do decent damage against the harvesters, so it can damage them. But again, when we get the actual full forces, this may change my mind. But for right now, I'm gonna put it up here with the Commando and just above the exosuits. I feel like it's really, really good. It's very consistent, has unlimited ammo. Again, like I do like it against the illuminate, but it's just not like, out of all these options, I mean, like, I'm probably gonna take this over the suits a lot of times. So yeah, it's decent overall. And I would say the flamethrower is probably actually, I'm gonna move the flamethrower to a S tier option because not only is it great for killing hordes of enemies, it's really, really good at that. It can do a lot of damage to harvesters, and because you're right up underneath the harvesters, they can't fight back. They have a little shock thing to kind of disrupt you, but this thing absolutely melts harvesters in just under half a magazine. So this thing is really, really good overall against the harvesters. And then lastly, the Sterilizer, same thing with the Airburst. I'm kind of like, I wish it did more. I like the backpack better, like the grenade better. I like the gas strike better. Just, I wish this thing had acid. It would be better overall. But yeah, I'm gonna put it down here in the E tier with the Airburst. All right, so here's my overall tier ranking for the support weapon stratagems against the Illuminates. The S tier options are ones that I bring quite frequently. Definitely the machine gun and the anti-material rifle are my top choices all the time. I bring the flamethrower to mix it up a bit because it's just as effective as both of these options. The A tier are definitely things that I run quite frequently. I would say it kind of cuts off at the exosuit, so I run the commando, the arc thrower, and the 2 suits a lot. Then after that, I don't really run the other 3 options with the recoilless and the heavy machine gun, but they're all really good options. The W.A.S.P and all these things in the B tier are kind of overkill. The vehicle spawns on the map, so if you want to bring one just for giggles, do it. But I mean, the vehicle does spawn on the map, so it's kind of in there. But all these options just feel like overkill right now for the Illuminates and unneeded. Same thing with the C tier. I just don't feel like they're needed at all. I don't really like the Quasar right now in its current state. And then same thing with the Airburst and the Sterilizer. I think those are both below the Quasar in general, and there are not good options at all. So this is my overall list for the Illuminates. So let me know down in the comments below what your full tier ranking list for the support stratagems against the Illuminate are. What are your favorite things to use, and how do you rank my list? Do you think it's complete crap, or do you think it's actually pretty good? Let me know down in the comments below. But anyways, we got more of these to come, especially part 2 of this when we get the full force of the Illuminate coming up very soon. And if you want to check out the other 2 lists, they're going to be on the screen right now for you to click on. But anyways, guys, I will catch you in the next video. Peace.